Hello there folks, my name is Spoonks and I saw Joker Folie Deux and it sucked. Now I was actually pretty curious about this movie. I actually liked the first Joker. Now back when I originally saw it, I thought like everyone else it was a masterpiece, but upon reflection, yeah, it's not as good as I remember, but I still think it's a solid movie, you know. I thought the story was well done in incorporating Joker into this real world setting. Made things a bit more interesting, yeah, and I was definitely curious to see what they could do with a sequel, especially with it being mentioned that it was going to be a musical and it was going to star Lady Gaga. Imagine the chaos and anarchy that could happen with a musical starring Joker and Harley Quinn. That sounded like a match made in heaven. But unfortunately, that's not what happened here. This movie sucked so much. I hated this movie. This was such a big letdown. Now, believe it or not, there are actually a couple things I did enjoy with this movie. I liked Brendan Gleeson's character in this movie. I really liked him as the police guard. I thought he was a really interesting character, and I wish they would have done a bit more with him, maybe make him a bit more integral to the story, because I thought Brendan Gleeson fit well with this world, and I really liked his character. The acting all around is really solid. I thought Lady Gaga and, of course, Joaquin Phoenix did a great job. I thought they matched their characters very well. Joaquin really blended into the role seamlessly, and Lady Gaga also did very well as well. And throughout the movie, there are a couple sequences scattered here and there that are actually really good and isolated, and when you watch them alone on their own, you could picture yourself, wow, this must be a really good movie, especially a scene in the courtroom involving Gary and Joker. That was without a doubt the best scene in the movie. That's where the film really shined and showed its full potential and what I wanted from a sequel to Joker's. Throughout the movie, there's some really solid scenes filled with tension, suspense, and, you know, heartbreak. You know, there's some really solid, well done scenes in here that really shine through the garbage that is this movie. And let's talk about that garbage, shall we? Because my God, was this movie, oh boy. First off, this did not feel like a sequel. In all honesty, I don't think the first one really needed to be a sequel. It was never really intended to be to have a franchise. It was supposed to be its own one-off thing, but then that movie made $1 billion, and you know what that means. We gotta sequelize this, and it really felt like Todd and the rest of the filmmakers did not want to do this. They were just forced at the hand because of how much the last movie made, and you can really tell like they did not want to do this. They really opted to not give what the audience wanted, which I can kind of respect, just burning all of this money on screen, but at the same time, you're still burning money. Are you trying to accomplish here besides burning money? And because of that, this felt more like an epilogue. It didn't really do a full continuation of the story, I think, and the story itself is utter nonsense. Basically, it's just a really long, boring, dull courtroom drama that relies heavily on callbacks and previous characters from the first film to really sell this thing. It really felt like, hey, remember this from the first movie? Remember this character from the first movie? We know you liked that first movie. We're going to bring them back here. Now you have to like this movie. It relied heavily on the strengths of the first film to carry over to the second film, but unfortunately it just wasn't able to carry over the strengths of that first film. All the tension and suspense, even though there are certain sequences that do have those things, are utterly gone throughout this whole movie. It lacks the suspense, it lacks the threat, the intensity of it all, because once again, it's just a courtroom drama, and a very long, boring one at that. But not only that, it is also a musical, despite what, certain recent interviews have said. This movie is a musical, and as someone who loves musicals, this movie sucks as a musical. All of the songs are not good. They're not well done. They're not well sang, even by Lady Gaga standards. She was saying she had to hold herself back, and you can tell she's holding herself back. The sequences are dull and bland. They're not well put together, and they serve no purpose. Whenever the movie gets interesting and it seems, all right, this is where the movie starts to get good, the characters start singing and it just relieves all of the tension, all of the excitement that you may have for this movie, and it washes it down the drain. It relieves all of the tension. They serve no purpose. This movie did not need to be a musical. I don't know why they gave it these songs, and even the musical sequences themselves, they are not as crazy or as big as grand as you would think they would be. You know, for a movie about Joker and Harley Quinn, you would think they would go bigger and crazier than this. Hell, the musical number in Birds of Prey was crazier and more outlandish than the sequences in this movie. And once again, the songs were unnecessary. They weren't well sang, and they didn't really add anything to the movie. It was just a big waste of time, big letdown. And then there's the ending. Oh my Lord, what a stinker of an ending. I guess that's the way to like cap it off, saying, yeah, we're not doing any more of these, and thankfully they're not going to do any more of these given how poorly this is doing at the box office. But like, good Lord, what a stinker of an ending. I could not believe that was the way they ended it. I know some people appreciate it. I know some people are going to like it, and that's fine, you do you, but to me, that was not the right way to end this movie. What a crappy way to end it, in my opinion. So yeah, overall, Joker Folie à Deux is a mess, a big letdown, and definitely a major step down from the first film. Outside of a couple sequences here and there that show the glimmers of potential this movie may had, especially the scene with Gary. And, you know, I liked some of the characters and the performances. This movie just sucked. I can't recommend this movie. Do not go check this movie out. It is a big waste of time. Every bad thing you have heard about it is justified. I don't think it's the worst movie ever made. I certainly don't think it's the worst movie of the year. But yeah, folks, this movie stunk. This was a really bad movie. I don't know what else to say. This movie sucked. I do not recommend it. If you want to see a good movie, watch The Wild Robot, watch Transformers 1, watch Beetlejuice. Hell, it's Halloween. Watch any of the horror movies that are on your streaming services. Watch anything else other than this. This movie just sucked. And those were my thoughts on Joker Folie à Deux. What did you all think of it? If you've seen it, did you like it? Did you hate it? Comment down below and let me know. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you like this channel, hit the subscribe button. Follow me on all the social media links at the end of the video. And until next time, everyone, stay sharp.